because I believed it would be a resume booster, and it was a chance to put my passion for Ukrainian Canadian affairs to work.
Because I wanted to work with other Ukrainian Canadians such as myself and see how we work together in order to achieve our various projects.
Because I want to contribute positively to the Ukrainian Canadian community and also just gain some new skills.
I saw it as my opportunity to put into practice what I've been taught growing up. So to me, this job really meant following in the footsteps of my parents and my grandparents while keeping the Ukrainian Canadian spirit alive and really keeping it alive for future generations.
At the recommendation of a former summer student who is a fellow member of the UVic Ukrainian Student Society, he said that the job was a lot of fun and very informative and highly recommended that one of our members apply. I was looking for summer employment before I go back to school in September, and since I was already so familiar with the work that I was going to be completing, I decided to take a chance and apply.
I wanted to reconnect with the Ukrainian community, but I didn't know really how to. And then I saw this job offer and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
I was motivated to apply for this position because I saw the opportunity for me to learn, to gain a deeper understanding, and to become educated on the communities that we have across Canada. I wanted to be more involved in our community on a larger scale while gaining that knowledge and awareness of Ukrainian Canadian experiences that differ from my own and from what I've been exposed to.
I had the privilege of being the administrative assistant for research and communications. During my time with the UCC, I worked on a multitude of projects, beginning with the follow-up on Vyshyvanka Day 2021, updating the Project Link MP contact list, creating a Canadian and Ukrainian media contact list, updating the NUEC website, updating the policy priority documents, in addition to daily responsibilities such as passing on phone messages and publishing the daily briefings to social media. Additionally, I prepared executive summaries of the following external events, such as the Immigration Board meeting, House of Commons and Senate question periods, and the presentation of the Ukrainian Embassy to the Foreign Affairs Committee.
I was an administrative assistant for the Montreal branch, which included doing many various projects, one of them being the creation of the MP package and the M&A package for our members of Parliament and our members of the National Assembly here in Quebec. The package includes what UCC does, how Ukrainians have participated in the Canadian community, and what our members can do in order to support Ukrainians by attending various events that we hold throughout the year.
Outreach. I updated memberships with the Ukrainian Society of Ivan Franko here in Vancouver. I also reached out to UCCBC member organizations in order to get updates on all of their information and write little write-ups for our new website, as well as do a general draft for the BC-wide survey of Ukrainian Canadians.
I was the fundraising assistant at the Ukrainian Canadian Congress.
My main projects that I worked on were the Ukrainian Independence Day celebration and the archival of books in the library at the Victoria Ukrainian Cultural Centre.
Most of what I did for UCC was working on an archives project here in Montreal. I also worked a lot on translating stuff, so translating the UCC site into French, translating other little messages for social media. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed doing that. That was fun. Another thing that we did was that my colleague Larissa and I had to set up this multimedia project that we filmed ourselves, that I edited as well, so we had a lot of fun doing that.
I worked as the executive assistant in community outreach development, where a majority of my tasks were to create content for social media and engagement and communication strategy, as well as working on a really exciting project with the team for the community engagement survey.
This job allowed me to further enhance my research and writing skills, which are crucial for my academic program, which is history, and hopefully for a future legal career. The three things that I appreciate the most from this job are practicing concise writing for press releases, further developing research skills and differentiating trusted versus non-trusted sources, and gaining an even deeper understanding of the tremendous value of the UCC and the Ukrainian community as a whole.
UCC taught me teamwork, communication skills, organizational skills, and also that not everyone comes from the same background and that we work together in order to achieve the same thing.
I learned a lot about professional communication, about managing my time. Oftentimes I'd be working on multiple projects, and I just found myself utilizing many different organizational ways to kind of keep track of everything and make sure that everything was getting done in time, as well as that I was reaching out to everyone I needed to reach out to, and it was just great for developing professional communication skills overall.
I have learned so much through this job, including how to use new technology and online software, as well as refining my Ukrainian language skills. Through my work in the Ukrainian Cultural Center Library, I learned about different Ukrainian authors and common literary topics and movements. I've also learned a great deal about the archival process and library studies, and I believe it would be something I would be perhaps interested in pursuing for a future career.
I learned effective communication and a lot of people skills in general. In fundraising, you interact with a lot of community members, so you learn those skills very, very quickly.
Working with UCC really made me understand the Ukrainian community in Montreal more. I know that each organization works for a specific goal, and they're all working technically towards the same goal, but they're just using different tactics to get there. So that's really a lot of what I learned.
Think critically about different forms of media, to be keenly aware of underlying messages and how to reach different audiences with the information of various projects or initiatives that were shared. Given the importance of media and marketing in many industries, and especially during the pandemic where we live dominantly in a virtual world, I gained knowledge within concise and effective communication using qualitative and quantitative research data in identifying target audiences and how to best engage them and engage with them.
I think that any student who wants to come and work with UCC is more than welcome to, because we are trying to include everyone, and it is a great way to stay in touch with your culture and your heritage. Thank you so much, UCC.
I think if you're thinking of applying, you definitely should. It's a wonderful opportunity. You meet such wonderful people, you learn so much, you expand your network, and I just had so much fun doing it this summer. It's a really great opportunity.
This position is a great way to learn some versatile and marketable skills for students, and they're applicable in almost any field. So for example, I am a science student, but even in my field, proper communication is pretty critical. So even if you don't think you have the proper experience or that it isn't applicable to your field, I highly encourage that anyone apply, because you will be surprised by what you learn.
The job of summer student for the UCC is such a great opportunity for students, as it doesn't conflict with your studies, and it's a great way to get connected with members of the Ukrainian Canadian community in Victoria, in my case, as well as across the country. The job teaches you valuable networking skills and gets you stepping out of your comfort zone, which leads to rewarding outcomes.
I think that working for UCC is an incredible opportunity, especially for students like me. It teaches you how to be autonomous and responsible, because each time you would finish one task, you'd have to move on to the next. And same thing with communication. You'd have to explain all the time what you're working on and how you're doing it. So it's a great practice for that, because we'll be communicating our whole lives.
Challenged and encouraged to take any ideas that you have, bring them to the table and see them through. You are mentored, given positive and critical feedback that is really important for your own professional development. And you're not limited to the duties and tasks of your role. For instance, I was working in community development. However, I had the chance to work on projects that were outside of that, where I gained skills that I wouldn't have normally had exposure to if I didn't work with UCC this summer.
I truly enjoyed my time with the UCC and encourage all other students who are considering applying for this job to do it. It was an experience that I will not forget.